California Harley dealers ran greedy games, and we all felt it at the counter before we even touched the bars once. Since July, the market has gone crash, and the mood turned brutal, sudden, and quiet. We've got proof, the fees, and pressure tactics that make riders walk. We can prove how unsold bikes became debt and why smaller stores get squeezed first. So take action today. Demand written totals, refuse add-ons, keep notes, then watch who gets what they deserve. The California Harley dealer game. It is the bitter stuff we remember in our bones walking into the showroom. We see the shiny bikes, we hear the pipes, and the sales desk is running sneaky, greedy math all day. First comes the added dealer markup, then setup, then phantom fees, then a security tracker we never asked for, all stacked like a bad sandwich. They push finance hard, they push coverage harder, and they love that move. We'll talk numbers after your credit app. Some stores hide the total number until the last minute. Picture the camera gliding past Chrome, then zooming into the invoice. And there it is. Surprise charges, protection packages, and a stack of forced accessory add-ons. A manager steps in, smiling with a heavy pitch, pushing gap coverage and service clubs. They bundle premium exhaust, crash bars, and a cover, then call it mandatory, so prices look normal. Every time we say no, a fresh charge appears, with a new story and another signature line. That's why we felt disrespected, because the deal was never simple. It was a maze. This is the Harley tax, package coverage, paint shield, prepaid service, and weird delivery fees for a bike that already lives on their floor. And if we bring a trade, some stores play that separate, confusing game where they help on the trade, then claw it back with a penalty later. California buyers got hit the hardest because overhead is brutal, demand cycles are wild, and plenty of dealers leaned into maximum greed when the line was out the door. Riders got furious because we weren't treated like neighbors, we were treated like walking machines for money. We wanted a fair deal and clear terms, not a hostage negotiation in the finance box with a timer ticking. Keep watching, because the same dealers who played tough are now begging for money. And yeah, we remember the stressful push, sign tonight, one buyer behind you. Rates rise tomorrow. All that psychic noise designed to make us rush. The kicker is, those tactics only work when demand feels strong. Then July hit and the whole tone changed swift. If your knees pop louder than your exhaust at stoplights tap like, this channel keeps your riding pride alive today. July was the flip point. July was the switch point, and it exposed how fragile the dealer game really is. Rates went up, monthly payments got uglier, and a lot of riders stopped panicky shopping. Even the guys who always buy new. When demand cools, inventory stops being an asset and turns into debts sitting under bright lights. Every bike on that floor needs insurance, needs space, needs staff time, and the finance clock keeps spinning. Here's the part most people miss. We don't need a secret cabal to explain the misery, but we do need to follow incentives. Corporate wants units moved, dealers want cash flow, and lenders want their note paid on time, so stress rolls downhill swift. Harley and other brands have openly talked about keeping inventories disciplined and adjusting to a tougher demand picture, and that alone tells us the mood changed. But the dealer's reality is darker, because they can lose money even when they sell a bike. And if they slash deep to get a signature, then toss in a cheap trade number, then pay sales staff, then eat those floor costs, the deal can still land negative. That's why the showroom vibe in California shifted from cocky to careful almost overnight. Buyers stopped rushing because we finally saw the cracks, and once we smell discounts coming, we get patient. Foot traffic dies when people think tomorrow will be cheaper, because nobody wants to be the guy who overpaid last weekend. Online leads slow down, not because riders vanished, but because we started saying, we'll pause, show us honest numbers. And that delay is a lever, because it forces dealers to sit longer with more debt and less hope. On top of that, used values started wobbling, and that hurts trade-ins, which hurts deals, which hurts more traffic, like a bad loop. And meanwhile, the overhead in costly cities stays brutal, so the same stores that charged extra now feel squeezed by their own rent. Once bikes sit past the season, and the factory tosses incentives, and dealers still eat interest. The sticker drops, values follow, and yesterday's buyer feels bitter regrets. So new shoppers pause. When service bays slow, stores squeeze parts margins, and riders get suspicious about every quote. If you're shopping, the move is simple. Get out-the-door quotes in writing, compare 2 or 3 stores, and be ready to walk. Do that, and the talk after credit trick loses power because you control the pace. Now we hit the deadliest word in the dealer world, floor plan. Floor plan math is a silent killer. Pull up a chair at the diner and we'll turn this messy mess into simple truth. Those bikes are financed inventory, not personal property, not private trophies. Most stores use floor plan loans, basically a large credit line tied to each serial number. When rates climb, the burn gets brutal and cash flow turns tight. Interest stacks daily, and every week of waiting turns new into costly baggage. Now picture the calendar flipping month after month while the same units collect dusty fingerprints from tire kickers. And meanwhile, the dealer pays interest, insurance, rent, utilities, staff, and the little stuff that adds up quickly. Then comes the hidden gut punch, aging rules and lender curtailments that demand bigger payments as the bike gets older. After a few months, the lender wants more principal, not just interest, so the pressure gets heavier and louder. If the bike sits for close to a year, it becomes poison because the payments grow while the resale value slides. So the store starts cutting prices, and those discounts have to come from somewhere honest. Here's the part riders miss. Sell it cheap can still lose money because the loan payoff is fixed. A rebate helps, sure, but it rarely covers the whole gap once you count freight, prep, and a stack of forced add-ons. And the back end used to save them: finance reserve, accessories, extended coverage, all the hefty profit extras. When buyers get cautious, those add-ons die quietly and the math gets painful. Even worse, a desperate store may push long-term and pricey products, trying to squeeze profit out of slender deals. So the sales floor turns into a stress factory, with managers chasing money instead of building trust. That's why service becomes the last lifeboat: parts, labor, and maintenance that keep survival going today. But when a shop is squeezed, customers feel it, with higher rates, longer waits, and less patient treatment at the counter. That attitude drives riders away, which makes the hole deeper, and the spiral gets harder to stop. So when dealers scream market forces, ask who built the trap and who profits when small shops disappear. Hit like, and don't forget to subscribe if you are done paying badges and fees for dusty bikes parked indoors all winter long. The factory pressure nobody talks about. This is leverage, control, and branding, not some soap opera. When a shop signs the franchise papers, it agrees to rule books, scorecards, and constant upgrades. The factory wants a polished image, steady pricing, and a showroom that feels premium during slower seasons. So they demand new lighting, fresh signage, matching fixtures, boutique displays, and experience zones that cost serious money. Sometimes it's new flooring, new paint, in a redesigned service lane, all sold as modern and necessary. Those bills hit the dealer first, and that cash drain is painful when sales are already softer. Then comes allocation pressure. Take the units, hit the targets, and keep shipments predictable. If a small store says slow down, it can lose incentives, special models, or future support, so it accepts extra inventory. That is how good owners get trapped, chasing benchmarks while customer traffic gets thinner. Add higher interest rates, and every unsold bike becomes costlier, and every aging unit feels heavier. To stay afloat, some stores stack fees, push packages, and chase finance profits that buyers no longer want. Now layer in boardroom stress. When investors and shareholders demand clean numbers, the factory starts cutting complexity. Fewer stores are easier to control, easier to brand, and easier to keep pricing firm. So the big metro groups get favorable allocations and stronger training, while small shops get standards they cannot afford. A mega dealer can spread fixed costs, shuffle stock, and survive a massive remodel without going underwater. A rural or small-town dealer cannot, and that gap turns into a squeeze that never stops. Here's the sneaky part. The dealer contract can make voluntary exits look cleaner and safer for the factory. They grade stores on surveys, response times, and showroom shine. And missing a score can trigger punishing penalties and tighter credit terms. The end game is fewer, larger dealers in bigger cities, so riders drive farther for repairs and pay steeper out-the-door totals year after year. Then the narrative gets packaged, closures become optimization, and layoffs become modernization, because those words sound gentler. Press releases stay bright, while the local riding scene turns thinner and lonelier. But riders feel the damage, techs leave, shelves go empty, warranty waits get longer, and trips get farther. Here's the kicker. Once service deserts appear, the brand loses trust and fewer riders buy new, which makes the cycle harder. Next, we drill into California, where overhead is higher, rules are stricter, and the dealer games get louder. California is where weak dealers go to die. It is not a joke. It is overhead, pricing, and brutal timing. Rent in the big cities is savage, wages stay higher, and compliance never takes a nap. So skinny margins get crushed fast. Add insurance that keeps climbing, security that costs honest money, and theft risk that turns shiny inventory into a moving target. When a dealer is living on just one more weekend, that is not business, that is survival. In a boom, some shops survive by stacking greedy extras, and customers remember every fee, every forced add-on, every "we only talk numbers after paperwork" dance. Then the crash arrives, and the same buyers turn into skeptical shoppers who will drive farther, waiting longer, and walk faster. Mega dealers in urban areas last longer because they have volume, bigger finance desk, and enough service bays to keep money moving. They can lean on apparel, parts, and storage money, while the small shop needs new bike deals just to breathe. But the trade is brutal for riders outside the cities, because the map turns into service deserts and long drives. Consolidation feels like fewer techs, tighter appointment slots, and a ticket system where you are a number, not a neighbor. It also means less flexibility on goodwill work, less time for questions, and more book-it-online attitude. And here is where some dealers deserve it without us celebrating anyone losing a paycheck. If a shop spent the good years treating riders like walking credit cards, trust does not show up when times get brutal. Trust is the only thing that carries you through a slow season, because loyal riders still buy parts, still do service, and still send friends. Burn that trust, and when the showroom goes quiet, you have nothing left but interest bills and hope. We are not cheering for closures or jobless losses. We are warning you what happens when your nearest warranty desk is 2 hours away and the next shop says they are booked. Keep service records clean, save part numbers, and line up an independent mechanic, because warranty help may get scarcer soon. But we are not cheering for job losses, because jobless families do not fix our bikes or stock our parts. We are warning you about the new reality when your nearest service counter is 2 hours away, and every appointment feels like a lottery, right now, not later. That is when riding culture gets smaller and riders stop taking trips. Remember this right now, because next we break down what you lose first, and it is not the showroom. Drop a comment on which California dealer charges made you swear off the deal and where you bought instead. Riders get stuck with the fallout. It hits quick, even if we never bought from that dealer. When a shop closes, deposits can turn messy, parts orders can vanish, and unfinished work becomes our problem to untangle. Warranty routing gets weird because the next dealer might refuse outside bikes or push you into long schedules. Title paperwork crawls, and if a lender is involved, the calls feel endless and nervous. The worst hit is time, because we cannot ride while we wait, and waiting kills momentum. Now picture the new normal. We drive 200 miles for service, deal with booked calendars, and burn a full day. That kind of driving turns a simple oil change into a weekend sacrifice and a quick recall fix into a whole trip. When riders smell that hassle, they stop shopping, and the culture gets smaller because nobody wants a 2-hour service run. Parts supply gets slower because local shelves disappear, and shipping delays become our new mechanic. In big rural gaps, a breakdown stops being annoying and becomes a safety problem because help is far away. If your bike is mid-repair, you may tow it home, expensive and frustrating today. If you prepaid accessory installs, that back order becomes a nightmare because the parts desk vanished. Some plans are third-party, yet the claim process feels confusing, slower, and bureaucratic. Shop the bike, not the sign, verify service history, and keep receipts in a folder. Then the used market wobbles, trade values slide, and private deals rise, because dealers cannot take trades at decent money. Buyers get pickier and push for proof, so they ask for receipts, service logs, and cold start videos. Sellers hear, "We will wait for discounts," and the pricing band tightens, so clean bikes win and junk gets exposed. That can help careful riders, but it can trap anyone who needs to sell quickly, because payment offers get sharper. So we stay peaceful, get smart, save every document, confirm warranty routing, and keep the sales talk honest. Next, we get practical with a rider checklist, so you can buy, sell, and service without getting cornered. Tap like and subscribe if you are tired of upsells and you want prices that match real riding everywhere now. What we do right now in California, our best move is simple, and it starts before we enter the showroom. Rule 1, demand an itemized out-the-door number with every charge and every add-on in plain English. If a sales guy says, "We talk numbers after the credit app," that is a control move, so we walk away. We also stop arguing about the monthly payment, because payment talk is where prices get disguised and dealers win. Instead, we lock the bike price first, then taxes, then fees, then finance, in that order always. We ask for a printed worksheet, not scribbles. During a crash, we use timing like a tool on weekday mornings and at the end of the month. We stay polite, we stay focused, and we let the silence do the pressure, not our temper. Here's a trick that saves wrists and wallets. Trade junk bundles for actual upgrades: seat, bar risers, heated grips, or a small screen. If they push paint coating or alarm markup, we ask for the invoice, and we ask what is optional, because optional changes behavior. Bring your own loan quote, because outside leverage makes a dealer's best rate look less magical. When they offer free accessories, we ask for the labor line, because labor can hide more money than chrome. And if they will not drop the mystery line items, we do not beg, we thank them, we leave, and we call the next store. That is not drama, that is discipline, and it is how we stop rewarding greedy tactics. Next is service, because service is where riders feel actual pain when a dealer network shrinks. We pick 2 independent shops now, one close for basics and one trusted for bigger jobs. And we meet them before we need rescue. We ask what brands they can scan, what parts they stock, and what their booking window looks like in summer. We treat techs with respect, because good techs remember customers who show up prepared and do not blame them for factory issues. At home, we stock basics, filters, oil, brake pads, fuses, and a battery tender, because delays turn small jobs into misery. We keep a binder with receipts, mileage notes, and photos, because paper beats arguments later. Warranty is the third leg, and it can get messy when a store closes or changes hands. We register the bike, we save every service record, and we photograph the odometer on service days for extra proof. If a dealer shutters, we call the brand line, get a case number, and ask where the claims route is for our zip code. If we already been burned by a bad actor store, we stop yelling and start documenting, quote, emails, add-on list, and finance pages. We request written corrections, we use calm language, and we keep every response, because calm records win, not loud stories. And for your own safety, we put deposits on a card, not cash, because disputes need a trail, and cash has none. Last, we protect our riding life. Plan maintenance early, learn local part sources, and ride with a buddy when your nearest support is far. Stick around, because the next 12 months will reshape Harley culture, and riders who plan smart will come out stronger. Do you like this video? Click that like button, and if you want to support us even more, become a member, have early access to the newest videos, what happens next, and who really deserves what. Now we land the point. Some California stores earned backlash, but we do not clap for layoffs. When a dealer treated riders like credit numbers, trust went broken, and that trust is the only buffer in a slump. Riders deserve honest pricing, clean papers, and service that does not feel like punishment. Workers deserve respect, because techs did not invent markups, fee stacks, or those sign here first scripts. About the leaked document talk, people claim a coordinated dealer cut and a megastore push. But that is unverified. Until real pages show up with names and dates, we treat it as a rumor, not a gospel. Even without a secret plan, the misery makes sense when we follow incentives and watch behavior. When rates rise, inventory becomes damage, and every extra unit turns into a monthly bill with teeth. We see it in the tone shift, less swagger, more discount chatter, and more experience talk in releases. We also see dealer groups buying weaker stores, because consolidation loves chaos and hates small operators. That shift benefits big players with bigger credit lines and stronger leverage with the factory. It costs riders in time, travel, and wait lists when a region ends up with one mega service lane. It also means fewer demo days and less community support, because corporate stores squeeze anything not profitable. In that vacuum, used buyers get pickier, and we hear we'll wait, because liquidation prices can drop again overnight. California makes it worse because overhead stays heavy and compliance is strict. So who really deserves what, and who keeps hurting? Bad actors deserve consequences, lost sales, ugly reviews, and 0 referrals from our group rides. Good dealers deserve loyalty, because honest prices and clear charges keep riders in the sport. Our best move is simple: reward transparency, starve junk fees, and keep your paper trail tight. Before you sign, demand the worksheet. Read every line and refuse last-minute required packages. If you already bought, keep records, stay calm, and push for written answers, because written answers stop runaround. If your nearest store is fading, build an independent shop relationship right now, because local support keeps your riding life alive today. You drop a comment, what fee made you walk, and what dealer earned your respect? Check out the next video to continue the road trip. Join our tribe by subscribing. And if you want to support our channel and have early access to the newest videos, become a member and don't forget to like this video.